Okay, you can all sit down now. Great. Aaron. Thank you, Aaron and the choir. That was beautiful. Before I begin, I thought we would take a moment of silence, given some of the events in the last 12 hours in Orlando, and thinking about those families that have all been affected by those events. So a moment of silence, please. Thank you. So let me begin with a few thank yous. First to Lance, Ben, John, June, George, Connor, and Evan, our maintenance group. They made the campus beautiful and made this space ready and comfortable. So thank you. Thank you also to Jackie and Mike, who oversee graduation. Thank you to both of you. Finally, thank you to the tech herd. Hold on. Who are live streaming graduation while also tweeting updates to all their followers. Overlake is going viral. Woo! Welcome parents, faculty, and friends. Welcome class of 2016. Today we recognize and celebrate your successful completion of high school. Before sharing a few thoughts, I'd like to recognize the lifers. These students began at Overlake in 5th grade. Here they are, 8 years later, taller, older, wiser. Lifers, please stand. Now for those few thoughts. As some of you may know, I was a rower for years. It was an experience that lives in me deeply, but seemed more present in my life this past year for a couple of reasons. First, we had the opportunity to hear Dan Brown, author of Boys in the Boat, speak about the book, which is primarily about the University of Washington crew that won the gold at the 1936 Olympics. Yet it's also about many other things, most especially the philosophy of George Pocock, a renowned boat builder who possessed a wisdom that applies well beyond boats and rowing. Beyond the book, though, there was a boat donated this year to my university in honor of Stan Bergman, my rowing coach, and a man who many he coached regarded as their finest professor. Mr. Bergman's teachings influenced my life almost daily. I'm thinking about all of this on your graduation because a couple of those teachings and several ideas from Boys in the Boat seem worth sharing with you today as you contemplate and prepare for change, new worlds and challenges away from Overlake, a community and a home where many of you have been for several, if not many, years. Let me create for you the scene of a rowing race, where there are some 15 to 20 crews come together to race each other. Shortly after you pull into the parking lot and are beginning to set up the boats, you start to take stock of the other crews, most especially those that are already out on the water, practicing, warming up, getting adjusted to this new setting. It's easy at that moment to be lured into a deep desire to size up the competition, to strain to see what they're up to gauge how well they appear to be rowing. When such a moment occurred, Mr. Bergman would say in his thick Philadelphia accent, "Men, everybody looks good rowing by the trees." There's so much in that simple statement. I was reminded of it the other day when listening to an interview on a podcast where the guest described how he often on social media compare our story to everyone else's highlight reel. Our backstories are the reality of what's actually going on in the boat. That same one that looks so good when seen from a distance. The messiness and the strain, the pain, the ugliness, and the way just the slightest shift in one person's weight can influence the whole boat. All of that is missing from the distance image of a boat moving sleekly, effortlessly past the trees. Mr. Bergman, however, meant more than that in his phrase. Yes, the image was deceptive, but just as, if not more critical, was how distracting it was to get caught up in watching the other boats, undoubtedly done so with an end game of comparing ourselves and using our mental energy to think about them rather than to focus on the job we had in front of us, the only one we could control. If you invest in the distant images of others, or put great stock in the manicured photos on social media, you don't pay attention to what you can control, yourself. In a recent graduation speech at Penn, Maria Popova, who curates the extraordinary newsletter Brain Pickings, and if you haven't read it, I would encourage you to, captures poignantly the consequences of such investments. But here's the thing, she says, about comparison. In addition to making you vacate your own experience, your own soul, your own life, in its extreme, it breeds resignation. If we constantly feel that there is something more to be had, something that's available to those with a certain advantage in life, but which remains out of reach for us, we come to feel helpless. And the most toxic byproduct of this helpless resignation is cynicism, that terrible habit of mind and orientation of spirit in which, out of hopelessness for our own situation, we grow embittered about how things are and about what's possible in the world. Cynicism is a poverty of curiosity, imagination, and ambition. But as we well know from the beautiful tributes at the senior brunch, you are not a cynical group. Rather, you are curious, imaginative, and ambitious. There is another essential in rowing, which Brown captures in Boys in the Boat, that I believe we can continue to inspire your curiosity, imagination, and ambition, and that is collaboration. In a rowing show, everyone has to be in sync in order to perform well. Yet that synchronicity goes beyond rowing technique. It's actually a physical, mental, and emotional harmony, an extraordinary brand of collaboration. Ultimately, you can only control yourself, yet you will, I predict, fulfill your greatest hopes and dreams if you find opportunities to collaborate with others in the most demanding yet meaningful ways possible. Be part of a team, be it in an academic setting or an athletic one, at work or within your relationships. Give yourself to the group and recognize the role you play as a contributor who is no more important than anyone else. Find opportunities to be part of a collaboration where the goal is larger than any individual. Frankly, that's also what the best leaders understand. They act on behalf of the organization, not themselves. Everyone looks good from a distance, whether rowing by the trees or sliding by on a daily Instagram scroll. Remember that everyone struggles and everyone longs to be accepted and loved. We all need to belong. Find a place where you can belong, where your collaboration with others will enable you to be your best self, and where your curiosity, imagination, and ambition will be fully exercised. I am filled with gratitude for all that you have contributed to the Overlake community. We will miss you. Congratulations, class of 2016.
When I was in 4th grade, George Bush was about to leave the White House, and I was about to start my 8 years at Overlake. It was 2007. The entire visit feels like a fever dream, but I don't think I'll ever forget my first memories of the Overlake campus. I was absolutely terrified. I remember walking under the watchful eyes of the librarians, thinking this campus could never feel like home. The next year, I started 5th grade, and campus still felt terrifying. But I started to create a short list of places I loved to be. The floor chairs in the library, the fire drill field where we play football, rain or snow, and the table all the way to the right of the campus center, next to the teachers. In every year after 5th grade, we've added to our list of places. The middle school dance floors, where the awkwardness is palpable. Army's room, where we learned our 4 corners. In the junior lot, where we tested the limits of our car's traction. Every year, Overlake felt more like home. We walked campus with more places on our lists and more confidence. And just like campus spans from evergreen trees to other evergreen trees, we've all grown broadly, as students, artists, and team members. The class includes an award-winning all-state opera singer, a 12-letter All-American college athlete, and everything in between. In the last 8 years, to quote Kanye, we've become everything we are. Or to quote Kanye again, we've believed in our flyness and conquered our shyness. In any case, this development concluded in the last day of our last year, when we took over campus, adding new places to our lists. The hill above the fields, and maybe or maybe not the roof of the TLC. In contrast with the first day, when we couldn't navigate from the parking lot to the new gym, we threw a music festival called Bumper Hoot, pitching tents in the Mat Psi and building a stage in front of the campus center. But that morning, 10 seniors and the fearless Paul Dudinakis took our prank even further. They came to Overlake before sunrise one last time, and blasting Greek music, they began the roast of a 40-pound lamb. As the sun began to rise, seniors began to take over campus, and more people joined Taki the Lamb. By midday, the music had turned to hip-hop, and Taki had turned on his steak for 8 hours. On this last day, we not only stood on campus with newfound confidence, but also prepped, seasoned, roasted, and consumed a 40-pound lamb as a class. Paul led the charge, but the entire class came through and helped realize his dream. Taki represents our growth, not only as individuals, but also as a group, the class of 2016. And the results of our collective growth have been incredible. Although we've become extraordinary individuals, we've achieved even more as a unit. We founded Overlake's first robotics team and first gender equality club. We gifted Stephanie and this campus with many, many shopping carts. And in my opinion, we created one of Overlake's most inclusive social dynamics. Our grade hadn't always been the closest, but in the last couple of years, we've come into our own and become a force on campus. I can't wait to see what comes from the years of drifting in the junior lot, shaking at Army's podium, or this one, and playing football on the backfield, the years of learning to call Overlake home. I can't wait for what comes next, and I think we're ready. So to quote Kanye one last time, class of 2016, welcome to graduation.
Members of the Board of Trustees, administration, faculty and staff, and of course our graduates of the Overlake School, a good afternoon to you all. Class of 2016, you did it. I am honored and humbled that you have selected me as one of your graduation speakers today. Thank you. To set up the scene, to highlight a key characteristic of this class, I want to share a story with you all today. Picture this, May 12th, just one day of your high school career, but such a keystone, such a major snapshot of who you are as a class and how you operate as a whole. Faculty may recall May 12th as Field Day, the last day for seniors on campus. The theme selected by this senior class was Bumper Hoot. Yes, Bumper Hoot. It's a play off of Bumper Shoot, as you just heard. You all took to this theme quite easily, as this class has always been obsessed with Pacific Northwest contemporary music. That day, you created your own Seattle Center. Your festival included plenty of music, live comedy from the DC, visual art, and plenty of live dancing. Bags were checked upon arrival. You may or may not have patted everyone down, and attendees definitely had to dump out any beverages upon arrival, which was a bummer because I had a hot cup of coffee, guys. As this concert unfolded and bumper hooters transitioned to the heart of campus, what you found was a stage with kids dancing. You found music. You found a circle of students around the flagpole, sharing donuts and coffee, sitting on couches, swapping stories, and throwing around high fives. A pretty cool scene to walk up to, regardless of your age or position on campus. Typically that day, the last day for classes for seniors, the mood isn't the same. In fact, in the past, it has been seen as more of a prank day. Prank the administrators, prank the teachers, the day the seniors got back at the man, if you will. And I'm sure there was a little bit of that. I did hear about a shopping cart or 20 in a said classroom. But for the most part, what you created was certainly unique. If you looked deeper into that day, you found instead of separating yourselves, you guys were inclusive. I saw fifth graders welcomed into the VIP lounge to play ping pong against senior boys. I saw sophomores, juniors, and seventh graders on the main stage dancing alongside seniors. Lamb Euros for all. That day was special and fun, and how you created such a non-threatening, shared experience for all lent to a true characteristic of this class and how it operated over the years, with inclusiveness, authenticity, and compassion. See, you all never needed to say, underclassmen, we're better than you. Do what I say. I'm a senior, so I get what I want. No, you guys were a class that took care of the entire community. On that day, you were representing your best self. You guys were authentic. Now, you didn't always function that way. Plenty of us remember your 8th grade girl drama, or a group of boys in their younger years going off the rails. In fact, you're quite different at the start of freshman year, quite detached. At that time, we had every type of student in the class, and we still do. We have our gamers, we have our merit scholars, our improv kids, our jokesters, the nerd herd, our change makers addressing social justice causes such as human trafficking and gender inequality. We have our graphic designers, our mathletes, our robotics champs, and yes, Brian and Kathy, we'll miss you guys. We have singers, dancers, musicians, makeup artists, debaters, one of the finest male a cappella groups this side of the state, and plenty of athletes who can go toe-to-toe with the best of them in the Emerald City League. We have such a rich and diverse group of leaders in this class, but none of that as a whole makes this class special or unique. What made you unique, how you lived out the mission of the school, was not centered around your differences, but your ability to be inclusive of each other and treat the community well and with compassion. We as a school can learn so much from you guys. Brene Brown is a qualitative psychologist, researcher, and storyteller. She studies vulnerability, authenticity, and inclusiveness. One of Brene's famous quotes is, "Authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. Authenticity," she says, "is not something we have or don't have. It's a practice, a conscious choice of how we want to live on a daily basis. You all practice authenticity through the years, and you're willing to let your guard down and be seen. I want to thank you for the life lessons I have personally learned from this class. I think I'm a more authentic individual because of you. As you think about the next chapter, take some time to reflect on why creating such an inclusive, compassionate, and authentic experience is so important. What does it mean to be your best self? To be authentic, to have an inclusive identity. Authenticity is hard work. It's hard to achieve. But many studies clearly show authenticity and quality of life are both linked at home and work. So please take the time to be mindful of how you'll create that next space. Create that space in your next community, in your next journey, in your next peer group, or the company or nonprofit you work for in the future. To be authentic, you'll have to be vulnerable. At the heart of vulnerability, you'll find some shame, you'll find some fear, you'll have to make some tough decisions, guys. Excuse me. But it'll also be the birthplace for loving connection, joy, and a sense of belonging for you all. You took the time to cultivate a special space here on campus, and now you'll have to do it again. You're the one that will have to be vulnerable. You'll have to show people who you really are. You'll have to stick up for yourself. Sometimes say no, in order to be truly happy and authentic, but I know you guys can do it. I'm so proud of you and what you've done here at Overlake. You've done a phenomenal job representing and honoring the mission of Overlake. Make sure that this thing right here, guys, grows just as fast and as strong as this right here. I appreciate the love you have given me and the faculty over the years. We're going to miss you, and I'm excited to be one of the first to congratulate you as graduates. Congratulations, good vibes, and best of luck to you.
Good afternoon. I would like to start off by thanking all the parents, family, and friends who are here today. We have taken your time and emptied your pockets, and you did it all so we could attend a great school. Without your unconditional love and support, none of us could have possibly grown into the people that we are today, on the cusp of venturing out into the real world. Well, a world where we still don't have to cook for ourselves, but still more real than high school. I would like to thank our teachers for dedicating their time and caring deeply about us. Without that personal investment in our education, Overlake would not be the incredible high school that it is today. Coaches, staff, maintenance, and everyone who helps Overlake run on a daily basis, all of you have influenced Overlake and made it a place that I am so blessed to have grown up in. I remember seeing George on his golf cart 8 years ago, keeping our campus beautiful. And on my last day of school, I could still see George, circling the campus on his golf cart, helping Overlake run smoothly for the rest of us. Finally, I would like to thank the class of 2016. Our extremely weird personality has made these last 4 years fun and very eventful. You elected me, for better or worse, to be one of 3 class speakers, and I'm going to try to make the most of that opportunity. Now, as some of you know, I have a niece named Ananya. She's 3 years old and adorable, and is absolutely in love with Disney princesses. Her favorite is Ariel. So when I was brainstorming for this speech, I was trying to come up with some grand gesture or something, to compare ourselves to, and I realized that the answer was staring me in the face. The ultimate movie is The Little Mermaid. So I would like to give Ananya, who's watching from home, due credit for my inspiration. Ariel just wants to be where the people are. She wants to marry her prince and walk on land. She encounters major obstacles. She gets sidetracked. She has to fight an evil squid witch. We are all Ariel. But instead of pursuing men purely based on their appearance, we chased an education. We did it with our friends, like Ariel did with Flounder and Sebastian. For every Ursula we had to fight, there was a prince we got to save. We survived the speech unit to witness the formation of the DC and the Nerd Herd. We made it through the 3 months of freshman Tolo drama to watch as our Facebook group devolved into Ellis just posting memes. We endured the walk up the hill in junior year to be greeted one day by the sudden appearance of shopping carts on campus. We witnessed as a brave group of students resurrected math club and led it into a new age of prosperity. And although we never did decide if the mill girls were better off in the farm or in the factory, we wrote killer essays about them nonetheless. When we encountered hardship, we never gave up, just like Ariel. When the sandwich line disappeared, we campaigned, and it was brought back. When the librarians would check if we were eating in the library, we just became smarter in how we hid our food. We may have come to Overlake to seek our proverbial Prince Eric, but we found so much more than that. I chose Ariel as our metaphor for 3 reasons. 1, my niece is in love with the Little Mermaid. She can quote the entire movie. 2, I look great in a seashell bra. But more importantly, 3, Ariel saves Eric. She does something. Aurora sleeps for a while and then is kissed. Cinderella has a fairy godmother and a heroic prince putting shoes on girls and trying to find his wife. But Ariel was always curious about life above the sea. So she went out and she did something about it. She saved her prince and made a very poor deal with a large, scary squid named Ursula. But despite her mistakes or missteps, no one could fault Ariel for moving closer to her goal, walking on land with her prince. But we need to keep everything in perspective. We saved our prince, and now we get to celebrate that, but there are many more princes to save. Ariel may have accomplished her goal, but her journey doesn't end. We may have our legs now, but on land we see that there is a whole world to explore. So we will all be moving towards some goal or another at every phase of our lives. So be prepared to save some princes along the way. You, class of 2016, are collectively some of the smartest, funniest, and strangest people that I know. We are each our own Ariel, with our own desires and dreams. I am honored to finally walk on land with all of you. I know each of you is destined to grow into incredible, funny, smart, and compassionate people and change the world. Try to explore a whole new world in college. Save your prince, walk up there where the people are, and have fun with the rest of your lives. Thank you.
While we wait for the lights to come back up, Ellen Hanna put that together for us. Stand up real quick, Ellen. And to the parents of the class of 2016, thank you for sharing your memories of your babies with us as part of that. That's my favorite part of graduation. It's my honor today to present to you the advisors of the class of 2016. I had the pleasure of listening to each of them speak last weekend about their advisees at senior brunch. And like the parents here in the audience, they agonized and laughed and cried and celebrated as our students grew up and prepared for this day. As a token of our gratitude for all you've done to help get the class of 2016 here today, please come up and accept the bouquet from one of your advisees. Emily Blackburn. Gerald Bleicher. Mireille Machfer. Behind the scenes, there's great wrangling for this honor. Micah Orr. Dave Parsons. Tina Proctor. Justin Prone. And Megan Waddle.
Well, class of 2016, looks like you finally made it. You've met all of your graduation requirements. Now, the last PE credit was earned on Wednesday. The last service hours were earned on Thursday. And thanks for turning your library books in on Friday, Luke. Will the first row please stand up? Colin Elliott Acton. Sonia Ahuja. Omar Aldachle. Gabriel Joseph Ancinas. Alejandro Arciniega. Matei Alexander Armanasu. Deanna I. Avram. Watch those high heels, ladies. Braxton N. Baker. Robert Ellis Baruther. Akila Bamitibati. Jake P. Botner. Zoe Brizak. Andy Ray Chia. Natalie A. Chin. Heidi Cho. Latio Emmanuel Cosmos, LT. Megan E. Kreitz. Trent Michael D'Alessio. He's quick. First row may be seated. Second row, please rise. Declan M. Daly. Erin Francesca Damon. Paul Kenneth Dudonakis. Theodore Austin Dyer. Spencer Robert Freed. John McHugh Gibbons. Jack. Fez A. Gowani. Rohan Rakesh Gupta. Nikhil T. Gupta Iwasaki. William M. Hamburg. Ellen Reed Hanna. Delaney Barlow Hewitt. Allison McMahon Hill. Madeline Felicity Home. Haley C. Howard. Rohan D. Jha. Annabelle N. Kays. Nadine Y. Khalidi. So second row, you may be seated, and third row, please rise. Ready, Inbar? Okay. Inbar Kodesh. Barathram Balachandran Kodangudi. Nicholas Paul Kuklinski. Dagny Celine Lehman. Rachel Lee. Harrison Theodore Mickle. Ketan Singh Minhas. Sana M. Mawazam. Sarah A. Moore. Tyler J. Nelson. Ruth Skinner Nordhoff. Ananya Lakshmi Parthasarathi. Haley J. Pothering. Megha Puri. Nithala Raman. Finian Michaela Ramirez Montañez. Elizabeth Catherine Riffle. Nia Beverly Rudolph. Don't run, Nia. First time I probably said that. Okay, third row, you may be seated. And fourth row, please rise. Sheldon T. Schatzman. Harriet Ann Akrig Sinclair. David E. Senegal, Jr. Tapan Srivastava. Sophia M. Stahura. Finia Louise Swai. Shreya Sayal. Evren Artemis Tarek. Benjamin B. Tripp. Alejandro Constantino Valdesousa Penny. Mihir A. Belgapudi. Eileen Margaret Vert. Perry Elizabeth Wallent. Luke Forrest Colonius Weatherby. Emma Allen Ross Williams. Rio Violet Wilson. Nancy L. Wu. Derek Liam Wolf. Patrick Ryan Wolf. Trevor R. Yokoyama. I'm sure there are enough seats. The fourth row may be seated.
Okay, the last little bit. So, all have your hats on, they're all adjusted, everything's on the right side. So I'm going to ask you to stand. Okay. All right. So on behalf of the faculty, staff, and the Board of Trustees, I pronounce you graduates of the Overlake School. You can move the tassel. Start to process out. You're now alums of the school. Woo! Go ahead, Carl.